Hi, what is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in. A little audio only podcast tonight. Not in a place where I can do a video, so it's kind of a funny day. I was trying to record a little bit earlier with Mark Medina. We couldn't make it happen. I was having some technical difficulties, and then I literally just started recording a video or recording a podcast, and I couldn't have been 2 minutes into it, and we get the news that D'Angelo Russell opts into his contract. So, couple things that I want to do on tonight's show. I'm going to do another show tomorrow with Kobe Price, who covers the Lakers for the OC Register. What I wasn't able to do with Mark Medina earlier today, I'm going to end up doing next week. We'll have a lot to talk about just because there's going to be so much going on around the Lakers. But I want to spend some time talking about D'Lo, what this piece means, the fact that he opted in. I want to talk about Dejounte Murray getting traded from the Hawks to the Pelicans, and the Lakers. Obviously, that name was associated with the Lakers for so long, and then nothing. Obviously, he ends up with a different team. I'm going to just really focus on those two for tonight's episode, and then tomorrow I'll do something a little bit longer with Kobe Price. Okay. This was, at least at the time that I'm recording this, Shams Charania about 10 minutes ago of The Athletic. Lakers guard D'Angelo Russell is picking up his $18.7 million player option for next season to stay in LA, sources tell The Athletic and the stadium. Okay. So I want to kind of break down what exactly this means and how really this is actually very beneficial for the Lakers, whether you're a big D'Angelo Russell fan or you're not a D'Angelo Russell fan, and I'll kind of give my opinion on all this. But nonetheless, whatever you think, this is good for the Lakers. By the way, I'm seeing a couple more other things right now. D'Angelo Russell tells me he intends to opt into his player option. That was actually 17 minutes ago. So that was before even Shams put it out. Jordan Richard put this out. And stay with the Lakers. His number one priority is to win a championship. Okay. That was out a little bit earlier. Woj just put out a tweet 3 minutes ago. Lakers guard D'Angelo Russell told Jordan Richardson that he plans to exercise his option. Okay. So not really too much different news there. This is good news for the Lakers. And I'm going to tell you why it's good news. And like I said, it really doesn't matter whether you're a D'Angelo Russell fan or you're not. If D'Angelo Russell got, I'm just going to use as an example, he went out there and he got a deal with Orlando Magic, and it was for 3 years, $60 million. I'm just throwing out numbers, right? 3 years, $20 million a year for $60 million. The problem if that happened, if he opted out of his contract and he went out and got a contract somewhere else, it's not like the Lakers can just take that $20 million, $18 million that he was making and saying, okay, D'Lo's gone. We're just going to use that money somewhere else. That's not how the cap works. I'm not a cap expert, but that's not how it works. By D'Angelo Russell opting in, it really puts all the power back in the Lakers' hands. So now if the Los Angeles Lakers have decided, you know what, we're going to keep D'Angelo Russell. We're not crazy about what the market is out there. And let's say JJ Redick is a big fan of D'Angelo Russell. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Let's just keep D'Angelo Russell. Let's take our chances. We want the continuity. We want to bring back players like Rui and Austin Reeves and blah blah. Jared Vanderbilt. We like what we got in the draft. Let's just take our chances and let's keep let's keep everybody together and go with it. Lakers have the option of doing that now. If the Lakers want to turn around and trade D'Angelo Russell, they can. So the organization now has full control again. D'Lo's going to get his 18 and change no matter what. This will be the final year of his contract. But the Lakers can determine we either want D'Angelo Russell to start the season, we want D'Angelo Russell and see what happens by the trade deadline, or they don't want him, and within the next week or 2 weeks or whatever the case is, D'Angelo Russell's not a Laker, and the Lakers went out and packaged some type of deal that they feel like is going to be beneficial for the team. Now, if you want to throw your opinions on here, last season I thought it was fascinating because D'Lo was an incredibly, incredibly polarizing individual, period. of all the different players that was on this Lakers team, I swear there were times I felt like we were talking about D'Lo more than we were talking about Anthony Davis. D'Angelo Russell was brought up all the time, and everybody had a strong opinion on him. So you could feel free to put in the comments, because D'Lo is exercising his option. He's going to stay with the Lakers. Do you want him to be a part of this team that's going to be around for, obviously the rest of the year? Or are you just hoping at the moment the Lakers get a chance to trade him, they're going to do it? I even kind of look right now because I put something up on Twitter. A couple tweets that I'm already seeing, and this is what I mean by a polarizing figure. I got one tweet that says, "Love D'Lo as a person, but Lakers need someone better. It's only an advantage if the Lakers find someone to trade him to." That was another comment. So I'm gonna give you guys my personal opinion, and I think if you've listened to me on this show or you listen to me on 710 ESPN, I think I've been pretty clear about my opinion. I'm not the biggest D'Lo fan. I'm not talking about as a person. I don't know D'Angelo Russell, but D'Angelo Russell, the player, I'd like a different player at point guard. I'd like a different player that the Lakers have, and if they decided to shop D'Angelo Russell and they found somebody else, and whatever, it's a wing player or it's a big or it's a whatever the case is, D'Lo is not a player that I would be losing sleep over if the Lakers traded tomorrow. I just wouldn't. There are some areas of his game that you definitely got to give him credit for. The numbers that he was putting up last year, what he shot from three, his efficiency from the field. But to me, those are just numbers. And I don't know if I associate D'Angelo Russell with, oh, that dude's just a winner. Wherever he goes, he wins. Wherever D'Angelo goes, all of a sudden he makes them so much better. And you just, every franchise is dying to have him. It's not the case with D'Angelo Russell's career. Part of me feels bad about it. I've said this before, but think about it. He played a couple years with the Lakers when he was first drafted. Then he's with Brooklyn for a couple of years. Then he's with Golden State for a short stint. Then with the Minnesota Timberwolves for a couple of years. Now back to the Los Angeles Lakers. And I don't think you, me, or anybody else listening to this podcast would be surprised that by the time, at least by next trade deadline, that he's not playing for a different team. Just doesn't do it for me. He just doesn't. There's certain players that I associate winning with, and I don't know if D'Angelo Russell, he doesn't come off. It doesn't give me that aura of, yeah, I just, all I care about is winning. I'm gonna find a way to win. Maybe it's not fair, but that's my observation and that's my opinion, and that's why you guys listen to this podcast, is so I can give my opinion. And you guys are entitled to your own opinion as well, but that's how I view D'Angelo Russell. Now, again, when the news came out, and it came out 15, 20 minutes ago, whenever it was, I was excited to see that. I was excited to see that he did opt into that player option, and now the Lakers, like I said, the Lakers now have the ability to kind of do whatever they need to do. Whatever the Lakers do from here, they at least are in a position where they can make a decision on D'Angelo Russell. And this is not going to be one of those situations where D'Lo can just walk away and the Lakers got nothing for him. And that was always the risk by not trading him in the past, and not trading him, obviously before the trade deadline last year. But this actually worked out well for the Lakers. This definitely worked out well for the Lakers. And now it's up to the Lake Show and that front office to figure out what to do from here. And frankly, even if they keep him to start the season, and that's how things just eventually worked out, all right, let's roll with the punches. Is what it is. But nonetheless, the last thing you wanted to see is that this guy signed somewhere else and the Lakers got nothing for him, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. So I think good news on that front, that he's staying. Read something here. Trevor Lane just put that this tweet. D'Lo could be an $18.7 million expiring contract to use as a trade chip this season, or based on his regular season production from last season, he's a value on that deal. Either way, it's a positive for LA. And that's basically the exact point that I was trying to make, that at the end of the day, no matter what you think about D'Angelo Russell, whether you want him on this team or not, it's good news that he opted into that contract. The Lakers now got a lot more options of what to do. And if they're making a trade, if they're not making a trade, if he's starting the season, if they want to do something by the trade deadline, however you want to slice and dice this thing, it's an advantage for the Lake Show. Okay, other topic I want to get into. It's funny how great both of these topics kind of tie into each other because earlier today, the Atlanta Hawks finally traded Dejounte Murray, and they traded him to the Pelicans. So it's interesting. When I first saw the news break, I was like, Dejounte Murray got traded. I'm a fan of his game. I really am. I like his game. I really liked his game since he was in San Antonio. Um, I like his style. I like the type of swag that he has. But I also think he's a guy that if he's the third best player on your team, that's a pretty damn good team. And I know he was associated with the Lakers pretty much all trade deadline last year or last season. And all of a sudden, we started hearing his name come up again. Basically, Zach LaVine, Trae Young, and Dejounte Murray, I feel like have been traded to the Lakers 8 times for how much we've talked about those 3 players. But Murray got traded. It's like, okay, so where's he going? And it's like he's going to the Pelicans. I'm like, New Orleans? Wait a minute. They're going to get Dejounte. Well, who are they trading for him? They're not going to trade C.J. McCollum or Brandon Ingram or Zion Williamson. Okay, maybe some of their other players are gone. Jose Alvarado, Herb Jones, what's his name? Trey Murphy, I think. Or is it Troy Murphy? I'm drawing a blank. They got a lot of really good, effective young players. Which one of those guys are gone? And you look at the deal. Pelicans are moving Larry Nance Jr., 2 first-round picks to the Hawks for Dejounte Murray. Also, Dyson Daniels is going to Atlanta as well. So it's Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, and 2 first-rounders to the Hawks for Dejounte Murray. Doesn't sound like a lot. This doesn't sound like a lot to me. If you told me Lakers could have used 2 first-rounders and you picked the players to match, there's definitely no Austin Reeves caliber type of player in here, so take him out of the mix. The players in there are, if I'm trying to find a comp to it, who is it? Is it a Gabe Vincent or maybe it's a Vando or something like that? It's not like they're giving up this unbelievable talent. Maybe Dyson Daniels is a good player, and I just don't know enough about him, but it doesn't sound like they gave up a lot. It does not sound like they gave up a lot. Dyson Daniels, I'm looking right now. He was with OKC, or no, I'm sorry. He was, he's only been with the Pelicans. This is only his 2nd year. So he's only 20 years old, maybe 21 at this point. He'll be going into his 3rd year, super young. Pelicans got themselves a little bit of a squad. So here's another move where the West is just getting better. I could think of 2 moves so far. Let's call it 3 moves that have gone down so far of, semi-significance. Mikal Bridges, it's an Eastern Conference team to an Eastern Conference team, so it doesn't affect the Lakers. I'm not too concerned about that. But Caruso is on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I don't think anybody's saying that that's not a good fit. So the West just got a little bit better with that move. And I think Dejounte Murray on the Pelicans is another really, really good move that benefits another team that's kind of right where the Lakers were this past year. So the Pelicans got better, it looks like. It feels like the Thunder got better, it feels like. There's still a ton that could happen in the Western Conference, but it doesn't sound like that was a lot. Kind of ironic that Dejounte Murray and D'Angelo Russell, news goes down today on both of those players, but one actually just opted into his contract and the other one got traded to another Western Conference team, not the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, I'm a fan of Murray. I really am. I'm a fan of his game, but doesn't matter anymore because I don't think he's going to be a Los Angeles Laker probably ever. So that's just kind of the reality of the situation in regards to that. All right, trying to see if there was any other information that came down while I started the show, and just looking to see if there was any other news that broke around any of this stuff. But looks like Shams, nope, nothing more from him. Woj got in on the action a little bit later, nothing new from him. So um, those are our two pieces of information for tonight. Like I said, Dejounte Murray is traded, but he's traded to the Western Conference. And good stats, only 27 years old as well. I think I mentioned 22 and a half points last year. It was weird. By the way, he also averaged 6 assists, 5 rebounds, even while in the same backcourt with Trae Young. But it's interesting that those two just couldn't jive. They couldn't make it work. So one of those guys got to go. I really actually thought Trae Young was going to be the one that goes, and Dejounte Murray ends up staying, but that's not the case. So um, that's going to be he's going to be joining a Pelicans team. I saw some kind of stat or something like that. New Orleans was 0-22 when entering the fourth quarter while trailing last season, and saw a huge drop off in production in clutch games. So I guess supposedly part of the reason why they want to get Murray. Um, he was clutch last year. He hit 40 clutch field goals last season, fifth most in the NBA. So that's how they were trying to address that. So something to keep in mind there. Okay, that's all I really wanted to get out of today's episode. Obviously the big news: D'Angelo Russell opting into his contract. It's an expiring contract. It's going to be the final year of his deal for $18.7 million. And the Lakers now will have some ability to make some moves. Hopefully, I did see. I forget what radio program or TV program Dave McMenamin was on a little bit earlier today, and I saw a tweet that the Lakers probably, most likely, won't make any significant moves um, this offseason. That it's probably wouldn't happen until the trade deadline would be when the Lakers, if they did anything, would act. So busy couple of days for the Lakers, busy couple of days for the NBA, and this is nothing. Just get ready because I think it's going to get a lot easier. I'm expecting tomorrow some kind of information on LeBron. That's when he'll get his opportunity. Saturday, June 29th is when he can make a decision about his contract now that Bronny James is on the Lakers, now that JJ Redick is the coach. I'm sure we're going to hear from Braun pretty soon in regards to what his plan is. And then Monday, July 1st, NBA free agency begins. What a fun time of the year. Hopefully, we're all walking away from these next couple of weeks feeling good about where the Lakers are, but they got a lot of work to do. The Western Conference is an absolute beast, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Laker fans, NBA fans, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys don't mind. I'm closing in on 25,000. If you're on the channel a lot, or maybe you've been on there more recently, less, whatever the case is, if you're not subscribed, please just take a quick second to subscribe. It would mean a lot. Let's close in on 25,000 and take it from there. Thanks, Laker fans. Have a great